You cannot believe what you see on the internet to be the truth. Stop giving your money to these people on the internet. Just because a person sounds like they know what they're doing, just because a person dresses and looks like they have money, doesn't mean that they do. So, one of the things that I learned pretty quickly in real estate is that there are a lot of fakers. I think anytime you have an industry where there's a lot of money involved, you're going to find a lot of fakers. You're going to find a lot of people who pretend to have money but don't, people who pretend to know what they're doing but don't, people who look a certain way, dress a certain way, speak a certain way, and they present themselves to others as if they have it all together, they have it all figured out, but the reality is they don't. And now more so than at any other time, you have to be really careful with who you trust, who you're getting information from, who you give your money to. Stop giving your money to these people on the internet. Just because a person sounds like they know what they're doing, just because a person dresses and looks like they have money, doesn't mean that they do. And there's a lot of fakers out there, and it boggles my mind at the number of people who fall for the scam. And I'm going to be honest, part of me don't feel sorry for them, because there are qualified, licensed professionals out there that are willing to help you, but people will bypass a professional and go work with someone just because they see them on the internet, because they have a lot of followers on the internet. People pay for followers too. Don't forget that. But you cannot believe what you see on the internet to be the truth. We have to start being much smarter. We have to start protecting our money. So now there's this guy, Tyler Bossetti. I never heard of him, but apparently he has a popular podcast. And apparently, he has scammed a bunch of people. And when I first read the story, when I first heard of the story, I was thinking, okay, he scammed a bunch of millionaires, right? He did some fundraising to get money, and he was fundraising with a bunch of millionaires. But as I read the story on realtor.com, this man wasn't just stealing money from millionaires, like people who already got it. He was taking people's life savings. And not only was he taking their life savings, but he was basically, it was a Ponzi scam where he would get investors in, and then he would tell these investors, hey, whatever money you give me, I'm going to give it back to you plus more. We're going to be rich off of this. And then he was taking the new investors that came in to pay off the old investors, right? And then he was taking people's money, trying to invest it into cryptocurrency without their knowledge. He's investing these people's money into cryptocurrency. And I'm thinking that was a desperate ploy on him to try to recoup the money. These people were willingly handing over the money for their retirement to this man, I guess, to invest in the business. And what kills me is that there are licensed professionals out there that you can work with, where you can invest your money and actually get something from it, or at least get the truth, right? Because anytime you are investing money, someone should be telling you of the risks involved in investing that money. If you're investing money into someone's business, it is a risk that you will not get your money back. And if you believe anyone who says that you're guaranteed to get money back, they're lying. And you should be cautious with dealing with them. Prosecutors say Bossetti secured over $23 million in fundings from victim investors across the United States and internationally. Altogether, dozens of these investors suffered losses that exceed $11 million. He has a real estate program called the Boss Lifestyle. You're gonna be a boss when you mess with me. You invest with me, you're gonna be a boss. And that's how these people talk. They try to get you to invest with them. Bossetti hosts a popular podcast called All for Nothing, which has 94,000 followers on Instagram, which isn't a lot, I guess. But he also has 862,000, almost a million. My hands itching. I'm getting some money. Almost a million followers on his personal Instagram page. And that's what people buy into, right? They buy into, oh, he got a million followers. He got almost a million followers. He must be legit. If he has a million followers, people are people, and people lie. People are deceitful, and people will tell you what they need to tell you to get what they want from you. He calls himself a real estate developer, and he can help build your mindset for wealth and help you to build generational wealth. Again, when you start talking to people and they start giving out them little trigger terms like generational wealth and mindset, and these people are fake. These people are fake. They are fake. Bossetti gave investors promissory notes that falsely claimed investments were risk-free. When have you ever heard of an investment being a risk-free investment? And that the investments were secured by real estate that is owned by Bossetti. Now, why would you invest money that you're taking out of your savings account or taking out of your pension or wherever to invest in a business that's backed by real estate that's owned by this guy? Did you get some type of paperwork on the value of the real estate that's owned by him? Do you have any evidence of the value of the real estate that's owned by him? Do you have any evidence of the business that he's creating? Do you have any evidence of the profits that this business has already secured? No, but you're still giving this man all your money. When making solicitations and executing promissory notes, Bossetti knew that he would not use the money for the purported business. It's one thing to say, I'm building money to invest in a business or to create a business, and it's a risk. But I think we're going to make money, and he actually invests in the business, and then the business venture loses money. That's one thing. But it's something totally different to go into the situation knowing for a fact that you wasn't going to even invest in any business. Knowing for a fact that you were telling these people lies just to get their money so you could go on these glamorous vacations. This is the world we live in. And to me, like I said, I'm mad at him for doing this, for lying to people's faces, but I'm more mad at people who was buying into the lie. People who didn't do any investigations into his claims. People who didn't get any of the contracts read over by a legitimate attorney or a legitimate finance broker or someone who's really in financing. It says that he knew that he would not use the invested funds for the purported business, and that profits from the purported business could not cover the obligations of the promissory note. Meaning he's giving out these IOUs, like, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you back. He's telling all these people, I'm going to pay you back. I'm going to pay you. Take this note. Take this promissory note. When he knew that he wasn't going to have the money to even add up to what the promissory notes were for. Bossetti paid old investors not with business income, but with money from new investors. That's why it's a Ponzi scheme. With the Ponzi schemes, in order to keep everything afloat, they have to constantly be bringing in new money to pay the old money and bring in new money to pay the old money. And I guess somewhere in the middle, he figured I can invest it into some cryptocurrency, make the money back, and then pay everybody off. I guess that was the idea. It says Bossetti, I'm messing his name up. Bossetti admitted that he diverted investor funds for personal use, supporting his lifestyle and financing expenses such as his rent and his downtown, I'm sure, luxury apartment, his frequent traveling, and his $150,000 Mercedes Benz. Oh gosh, it's so sad. It's so sad. Bossetti has fully accepted his responsibility for his role in the money that investors lost. So I guess that's his way of trying to reduce his time and reduce his sentence by saying that he's remorseful and that he's taking full responsibility. There's nothing else you can do but take full responsibility when you have no proof of investing money into a business. You only can show a lifestyle. You can only show that you spent their money on your personal lifestyle. It's disheartening on one end, but then on another end, it's like we have to be smarter. You have to be smarter with your money. And it's so crazy because you know, sometimes you will hear people complain about gas is high, food is high, rent is high, interest rates are high. But then on the other end, you see people who willingly give up thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars of their money to some random person that they see on the internet. One of the victims, Ryan Clark, he delivered a statement to the court, and he was saying that his firefighter brother, his father, who's a retired police officer, lost their pension. They lost their pension. They gave this man the money for their retirement, and now they have nothing. There's not a day that goes by that we don't think about bankruptcy. We live in constant fear that the next bill won't be able to be paid. It was a deliberate decision to take a lifetime of security away from people who provided security to so many others. Basically trying to say my family are boys in blue, firefighters and police officers, and we're here to protect and serve the community, but yet we make stupid mistakes like giving away our pension money to somebody that we don't know and we only see on the internet. And I don't mean to sound so harsh, but look at the reality. These people gave up their pension to someone that they saw on the internet. It's sickening. It's sickening. And you can't put all the blame on Bossetti. Bossetti is a snake. He's a thief. A thief is going to take from wherever they can take from. He's a snake. But when you look at people who work hard, firefighters work hard, police officers work hard. You worked so hard for that pension, and yet you were so quick to give it up to some Ponzi, some random man on the internet. Ryan said he didn't just steal the money, he turned our lives upside down. No, you didn't just give him your money, you assisted in turning your life upside down. The district attorney, the district court judge told Bossetti at the sentencing that he has no doubt you knew what you were doing and anticipated the result you received. What you didn't anticipate was that you would get caught. They don't think they're going to get caught because these people think they're bigger than a program. Like all Ponzi schemers, you thought you were one step ahead of the person looking to cash out. And then Bossetti says, I was drawn in faster and deeper than my judgment should have allowed. Yeah, the money came faster and easier than he thought. That's what happened. That money started flowing in. Whatever look, whatever presentation he put out on the internet, he got money faster and more of it than he probably thought he was going to get. And that money probably was just flowing into his accounts, and he was just taking that money and living large. It's crazy. It says so-called finfluencers, they call them finfluencers, such as Bossetti, are widespread all across social media. Listen to me when I tell you, stop falling for these fake influencers, these fake financial influencers. You guys need to stop getting your advice from YouTube and TikTok. Get your advice from someone who works for a reputable company, someone that you can research, and someone who is going to be held accountable if they do something wrong. A huge fear that financial advisors have, real financial advisors have, about these fake financial advisors is that someone can make a decision that can cost them a huge percentage, if not all, of their retirement, their savings, or their home. They are making decisions that can ruin their lives and the lives of the people that they love. And that's coming from a real financial advisor. And I can only imagine, because it's just like me, right? I'm in real estate. There are people who would rather sell their home to a random person who knocked on their door and offered them a random price for their home than to work with a licensed real estate professional. The rhyme or reason for it, I don't know. I have no idea, but I can only imagine that a lot of these real financial gurus or real financial advisors probably feel some type of way when they see that these fake financial advisors are able to get clients that they can't get. And these fake financial advisors are either stealing money or not really advising the client on what's best for them. We have to be smarter in today's world. We have to be smarter. Take this as advice. Do not give your money to someone on the internet that you have not done your research on, someone that you have not fully vetted to take care of your money. The difference between working with a person who has a license and a person who is unlicensed is that the licensed individual has a licensee, a board or a office or someone that is holding them accountable. Whoever is issuing their license is the company that's holding them accountable. When you deal with someone who is unlicensed, you don't know what you're going to get. You don't know what you're going to get, and it often leads to financial ruins. Thank you for watching this video, and stay tuned for more.